students, today I wanted to read a book called Annie and the Wild Animals. This book was written and illustrated by Jan Brett. We've read other Jan Brett books before, and we know that she's wonderful about putting some clues into her illustrations to help us make predictions and understand the story more. We should be able to think about the problem and the solution when we're reading. We should understand the characters, settings, and events. And sometimes we should be looking for patterns, things that happen again and again within the story. Let's read and find out more about Annie and the Wild Animals. Annie and the Wild Animals. It had been snowing for days. Winter was lasting too long. Something was wrong with Annie's cat. Taffy had stopped playing. She ate more than usual. She slept all day long. Annie found her curled up in strange places. So we have a lot of different little peekaboo windows in the illustrations here. So we can see she's eating more than usual. So Jan Brett has given us some pictures of the cat eating more and sleeping in strange places. One morning, Annie could not find Taffy anywhere. She looked and looked, but Taffy was gone. Annie was very lonely. I need a new friend, thought Annie. She placed a corn cake at the edge of the wood. She imagined that a small furry animal would come and she would tame him for a pet. The next morning, the corn cake was gone. In its place stood a giant moose. He's too big to tame, thought Annie. I'll have to try again. So what is the problem in this book? Annie's cat Taffy is nowhere to be found. She started acting strange. She started sleeping too much and going in strange places and eating a lot. And then she just sort of left one day. So Annie wanted to try and find a new animal that she could tame and have for a pet. She put out some food, called a corn cake, and what did she get? A moose. It was too big. So that night, Annie left another corn cake at the edge of the wood. What animal do you think will come this time? Don't forget to study the illustrations for our patterns and for our clues. The next morning, the moose was back, and a snarling wildcat was there too. He's too mean to tame, thought Annie. Annie placed more corn cakes at the edge of the wood. Do you think it'll work this time? Do you see a pattern? She puts a corn cake out, the next day there's a moose. She puts a corn cake out, the next day there's a wildcat. What animal will be there tomorrow? The next morning, a big growling bear was there with the moose and the wildcat. So is her plan working very well? Oh, he's too grumpy for a pet, thought Annie. Annie made as many corn cakes as she could and left them at the edge of the wood. Oh, what do you think will happen this time? You see more than one animal? What animals will be there in the morning? Will they make good pets? At dawn, Annie heard the snarls and growls of the wild animals. There was the moose and the wildcat and the bear. They had been joined by a stag and his family and a large gray wolf. A stag is a deer. Not one of them is soft and friendly like Taffy, thought Annie. So what is the problem in this book? Annie misses her cat. She wants a nice animal that will play and be soft and friendly. All the next day, Annie made corn cakes and left them at the edge of the wood. All night long she heard the sounds of the wild animals eating the corn cakes. Annie awoke to find a great nose stuck through her window. It belonged to the moose, who was still hungry. Is her solution working very well? She's lonely and she's trying to tame a new animal. That's her solution, is to try and feed animals and then get one and tame it and turn it into a pet. But is that a good solution? There were wild animals everywhere. They roared for their next meal and the little house shook. What's that? Who do you see? And what else? Don't forget to study those illustrations. The animals wanted more corn cakes, but when Annie looked into the barrel of cornmeal, it was empty. She couldn't make any more corn cakes. Annie was very sad. She would never find a pet now. She missed Taffy very much. Do you remember who Taffy is? Why did she leave? What do you think will happen? All that night a warm breeze blew from the south. The snow melted and new buds could be seen on the plants and trees. The wood was coming alive again. By the next morning the wild animals had gone back to the wood. They would find food there now that spring had finally come. Do you have any other predictions? The wild animals are all going home into the woods. What else do you think will happen? Then, as unexpected as the warm spring breeze, Taffy walked proudly into the yard. "Taffy," Annie exclaimed, "you have come home. Where have you been?" Taffy turned and looked back the way that she had come. What do you think she's looking for? Out of the wood came 3 soft and friendly kittens. Annie would not be lonely anymore. What was the pattern that we saw happening again and again in the book? Annie was lonely, and she tried to solve the problem by putting out corn cakes, and an animal would come. But was it the right animal? No. And she tried it again and again and again. So, I'm glad that you were able to read this book with me. I hope you can remember what the problem and the solution was. Annie's solution didn't work too well, but Taffy solved the problem herself by coming home and bringing her 3 kittens. Annie wasn't lonely anymore. Thank you for reading with me today.